using right away, but I stopped going, and so.
Now, here's the thing, don't be wishy-washy with me.
No, I'm not.
Just
gonna be
answer my
wishy-washy.
question.
I'm
When you
Ma-
stopped going, what did you start using? Norma, do you see what page Kendrick Ward is on? All right, thank you. Norma, that's coming back at 2. Who is here on Felix Apolinar? Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2023 CR 8787, State of Texas versus Felix Apolinar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Second for the state.
Defense?
Adam Wood for the defendant.
Are you Mr. Apolinar? You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Felix Apolinar who was placed on community supervision in 2023 CR 8787 for the offense of repeated violation of court order bond conditions on December 6, 2023 for a term of 8 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State.
Your Honor, on or about the second day of May 2024, in Barrett County, Texas, the defendant, Felix Apolinar, committed the offense of evading arrest or detention in violation of condition number 1.
And how do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
And Your Honor, the state will waive and abandon the other violations.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you to 8 years in prison? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1? Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is a proposed agreement, Your Honor, yes.
And what is that?
The proposal is for amending of conditions for safety, MIC eval, monthly UAs, and then hold probationer in custody and release only for safety. And of course, within the recommendation, there's the new case will need to be resolved prior to transfer for safety. And counsel and I have an agreement, or the recommendation, of course, which would be to TIC that new number 1, so that way placement wouldn't be an issue, Your Honor.
All right. And what's the cause number for the new number 1?
It is, I have it, Your Honor.
Oh, I have it here, Judge.
No worries. Cause number is CC 733418, Your Honor.
All right. Probation. What has he done on probation?
He has completed providing a DNA sample, Judge. I don't see that he has completed his SOP. He did have a mental health evaluation, and at that point is when they recommended safety and the MIC unit. He never started his battering intervention program, and I do see that we don't have any drug tests on record for him. He did fail to submit on February 29th, 2024. He hasn't started or completed his parenting courses, and I also do not see that he has started his community service hours.
All right. What have you done? You want to raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Felix Apolinar.
All right, what have you done since you've been on probation?
Well, I did have a job for 2 months. Fortunately, I lost it.
All right, so having employment, that's something everybody should do. So,
I did go to NA, and when I was going to NA classes, it was very good. I was very committed to it. Unfortunately, when I started working, due to my hours, I stopped going, and it caused me to do a spin cycle. But it wasn't until I lost my job.
I can't hear you.
I said, when I was going to NAA classes, they were very good. I was going to the Winter Circle off of Bandera Road. I was working at the Denny's off of Ingram. It was the first break I got in a job in a while. I haven't worked in a while.
So they have NAAA meetings by Zoom. You don't have to be in person, so.
I didn't have a cell phone, but I plan on getting one and taking care of myself as far as a job and just complying with the rules and whatever else you would recommend. So NA classes is no big deal. I enjoy them. It just when I stopped going, it just.
So when you stopped going, what did you start using?
No, I didn't start using right away, but I stopped going, and so.
Now, here's the thing, don't be wishy-washy with me.
No, I'm not.
Just
gonna be
answer my
wishy-washy.
question. When you stopped going, what did you start using? And how often were you using meth?
I relapsed for 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks, and I still,
No, listen to me. How often were you using meth?
the last 2 weeks, I did them every day.
All right.
I went on 2 weeks binge.
All right. And usually meth is not free, so you have to pay for that. So you were finding money to pay for meth.
I had the money at that time, but I should have paid my bond, probation, and I felt that.
And do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
My-
So you were paying for meth instead of paying for your children.
Sorry. That's,
I mean, that's the bottom line. You have children to support. Instead of supporting them, you're using drugs and paying for meth. How did you expect your children to eat? Did you expect them to get a job?
my youngest is 18 years old. He just graduated last week.
Well, they still need support. 18 years old. If they're going to college, guess what? They still need to eat. They need somebody to help them with tuition. They need somebody to provide guidance for them, and you're not doing it. And if you choose to continue to do drugs, and I know it's hard to be
Very hard.
clean and sober,
I
but
can't
if
do it.
you're going to continue to do that, you need to just politely write your son a letter and tell your son and tell your children, I apologize. I have an addiction and I just cannot beat it and I cannot be in your life and I don't want to continue disappointing you. Showing up in your life saying I'm clean and sober and then something bad happens, everything falls apart and I just start using again. Do you understand?
Yeah, you're right.
All right. They want to continue you. Probation is saying to continue you. I'm going to give you a choice. Sometimes I can give people choices. Sometimes I cannot. You know yourself better than probation does, your attorney of the state does. So you need to look deep within yourself and answer this question. Are you going to be able to successfully complete probation?
So,
If you feel, well, that's just a knee-jerk reaction because nobody wants to go to prison.
no, I need to do
So,
this for myself. It's-
Here are your two choices. I can revoke you. I will sentence you to 3 years in prison. Or I will follow everybody's recommendation and you will be going to inpatient treatment. Which do you choose?
I do what's best for me and my family, and I want to do the probation because it's important that I be able to complete something. Prison time is easy to do. Anybody can do it. But if I complete this program and prove to myself and my family, it would be much important for me to do this, Your Honor.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find number one true. I'll deny the motion. I'm gonna extend you for 1 year. This is what's gonna take place in custody. I want a referral to felony drug court. And if he's not accepted in felony drug court, then he's going to safety.
Yes, sir.
And then once he's released from either of those programs, it's going to be 120 sober meetings and 120 days, and all previous conditions are to remain in effect. Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Anything that the court can do that can help you maintain your sobriety?
That'd be good enough. I'll just do my part.
All right. And what case is being taken in consideration?
It's that county court cause number, Your Honor. Council reviewed it. It would be the 733-418.
All right. And the court is taking in consideration 733-418. All right. We can go off the record. Here's the thing. The court is always here. Probation is here. Obviously, probation in the state want to continue to work with you. Can't work with you if you disappear. Do you understand? From here on out, everything you do, you need to ask yourself, could this result in me going to prison for 8 years? Whatever you need to do to maintain your sobriety. I always tell people you need to do it for yourself, but if you don't think you're worthy of being sober, then do it for your child. If you don't think you're worthy of being sober, maintaining your sobriety, then guess what? Say, you know what, but I don't want to do 8 years in prison. So I'm going to remain clean and sober because I don't want to go to prison. You understand? All right, good luck to you. Thank you. Court is calling 2024 CR 4903, State of Texas versus Kristen Marie Sill. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state defense?
Christopher Ramos for the defense.
And are you Miss Sill? All right, counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, and we did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Miss Sill, Did you review the document entitled Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, you're gonna need to speak up.
Yes, sir.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1? Thank you. Less than 1 gram, that's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Seal, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. This is run concurrent with 696-722, 696-723. They're taking in consideration 709072. There should be restitution in 696-722 to Jonathan Prince and restitution in 696-723 to Jordan Marino, Merino. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, ma'am.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, and there's to be, I'm assuming, no contact with Walmart?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, no contact with Walmart at 12639 Blanco Road, San Antonio, Texas, 78231. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
State officer.
Okay.
Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, my client has described that she suffers from a schizoaffective disorder. She's been diagnosed and she's on medication right now. We respectfully ask that the court and for her to be evaluated by the MIC or for MIC supervision of the mental health caseload. I think that could be a big benefit for her. She's currently receiving services once she gets out with the Center for Healthcare Services. And I think that's going to be very valuable for her. So we're asking for that special accommodation.
All right. Who's your support system?
Right now, this is a CHCS, and I got a couple friends that.
All right, what about family members?
Um, maybe talk to my family,
All right, do you have any children?
yes.
What are their ages?
16 and 15, they're with their father, I don't have contact with them.
All right, when's the last time you had contact with them?
I finally got to speak to my daughter after trying for several years. We've been for a little while at House Point, so I guess, like 5 months ago.
All right, and when's the last time you were employed?
Just this following year, I worked at Hotel Havana. I was in the middle, of I ended up quitting because I had, was dealing with anxiety and I wasn't on the medications yet. So,
Okay, Hotel Havana.
yes, ma'am.
All right, they used to have great shrimp cocktail, then they stopped carrying that. I don't know why, but. All right, so why are you committing all of these offenses? What's with the theft and what's going on?
Well, I was getting my mental health, and that was before I really, started getting my mental health in order. I have visual and auditory hallucinations, and like voices were telling me that I was supposed to go like inspect the perimeter and then knock on the door if I seen anything that was out of the ordinary, and then I don't know, I know it sounds silly now, being on my medications that I'm on now, it kind of sounds silly, but it was something that I was dealing with. And it just seemed like got set up somehow, I was being bullied and exploited, and I finally was able to get out of that. I'm trying to pull my husband out of that. So I guess it was just a mixture of a few things that are now actually been just smoothing out.
Okay,
And I can offer, Judge, the person that you see before you right now or in front of me is very different than the person I saw on the body camera during this incident. So she's taking a lot of steps in the right direction to address her mental health.
all right, this is what the court is going to sentence you to, 3 years deferred adjudication. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. This is run concurrent with 696-722, 696-723. There is to be restitution and cause number 696-722 to Jonathan Prince. And in cause number 696-723, there's to be restitution to Jordan Merino, Merino. Court is taking in consideration 709072. I could do a referral to mental health court. I don't know if the state is willing to grant her a motion for new trial if she's accepted into the mental health court. That's something you can talk to them about. State, is this a case that you all would consider granting a motion? Well, not granting, I'll grant the motion for new trial, but not objecting to a motion for new trial if she's placed in the mental health court. My understanding is that she has mental health issues.
Possibly, yes, that would be something that we would be very open to consider.
All right, so probation, we'll do a referral to the mental health court and just let them know that if she's accepted, the state seems as though they're willing to do a motion for new trial, because I know they don't accept people who are on probation. Oh, what ends up happening is we'll file a motion over there, and not a motion, we'll do the referral, and on the referral, we'll let them know that the court will consider a motion for new trial if she's accepted. And then the motion for new trial will be granted if nobody has any objections to it. And then that way they can monitor her and monitor her more stringently. Okay. And so I'll do a referral to mental health court. And Norma, they usually will accept them if they're in custody, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so she's going to remain in custody for a referral to mental health court. If you have any issues with that, you can talk to attorney Renee Munoz, because he's done it for his clients before, and he may be able to get her transition quickly.
Do you have a sense of how long she's gonna be in jail for a little bit, because I have to work out some misdemeanors. Do you have a sense of how long the referral takes?
Oh, since we're doing it now and it's Friday, maybe next week.
Perfect.
Yes,
Thank you.
just as long as it's sent to them. And if you talk to them, they'll tell you when they have their evaluations to see if they're accepting someone or not.
Okay.
All right, so that'll be a referral to mental health court. We'll do a MIC evaluation. If the MIC evaluation is too long, we'll just do a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. For me, if it's going to take beyond 4 weeks, then we'll just do a referral to Center for Healthcare Services.
Judge, since she's gonna stay in custody for this evaluation, would you like me to go ahead and do the mental health the MIG eval in custody?
Yes. And counsel, if she's not accepted and you see that the MIC evaluation is taking too long, we can always bring you back. So if it's taking more than 3 weeks, just come back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we'll do mental health evaluation. There should be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. We'll do a TAP evaluation in custody. They tell me that's a quick turnaround.
Thank you, Judge.
And I'll follow recommendations of TAP. There's 120 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once she completes parenting classes, the community service restitution will be deemed satisfied. There's to be no contact with Walmart at 12639 Blanco Road. That's 78231. Field visits 1 time per month until in mental health treatment. And I don't think it's appropriate for you to be staying with friends because I don't know who these friends are. So Lifetime Recovery may be able to have placement for you, or if you're accepted in mental health court, they'll find a placement for you. So if not accepted in mental health court, then Lifetime Recovery. And Lifetime Recovery, they also help you with sober living facilities as well. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No, Judge, that'll be it.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Did you review the trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, please.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, yes.
Judge, were you gonna do anything for proof of employment or no employment?
Yes, I'm sorry. Could I see that? Because of the mental health issues and what's happening, I'm going to give you proof of employment within 60 days. And there should be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. Okay? All right, we can go off the record. If there's anything that you need and you feel as though probation is not addressing it, you can always come back to the court and let me know what's going on. Of course, it's Monday through Friday, not on weekends, not on holidays. Okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so on this one, we're gonna write, court is calling 2024 CR 5390, State of Texas versus George Hawkins. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Andrew Harris Edelman.
defense?
Renee Munoz on behalf of Mr. Hawkins.
And are you Mr. Hawkins?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Hawkins, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hawkins, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of assault of a peace officer or judge bodily injury as a second-degree felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent.
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes,
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
that's correct, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hawkins, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. The state is silent on your applications. They're taking in consideration 2023 CR 7315, 2024 CR 53389, and County Court Cause number 729000. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motion?
No, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
I believe contained in Exhibit 1 attachments, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. We'll be back on August 1st for sentencing. I will base my decision on a PSI report, the TAP evaluation, and any other evidence that's presented. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else needed other than a PSI and TAP evaluation?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Who's here on Amberly Pettis? Court is calling 2022 CR 6214, State of Texas versus Amberly Pettis. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Danny Musbar from the state of Texas.
Defense?
Eric DeWalt, I represent Miss Amberly Paris.
And are you Ms. Pettis? Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, off the record for a moment. You all are gonna have to move down there if you want to talk. No talking behind the court reporter while the court is on the record. And you'll need to ask the deputies to move your client. We're back on the record. Are you the same Amberly Pettis who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 6214 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on September 13th, 2022 for a period of 7 years?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 38 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Amber Lee Pettis, then and there failed to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer for the month of June, August, and October 2023 in violation of condition number 38.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objections?
None, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 38, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition 38?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 38 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Your Honor, it's to, for the defendant to go to the safety.
Your Honor, that is the proposed agreement. We are also in agreement. I know Ms. Amberly is ready to make a change in her life, and we'd ask that she please be given this chance.
All right, Miss Amberly, here's the thing, you know yourself better than I do, better than your counsel does, the state does, and probation does. You need to ask yourself if you're going to be serious about this probation and if you want to successfully complete it. Sometimes people will say they want to successfully complete probation and they do not do it. What ends up happening is they continue to use, they don't report. So I'm going to give you a choice. I can sentence you to 5 years in the prison today, or you can go to safety. All right, state your excuse. And probation, is this your recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. She was previously ordered safe P but failed to self-surrender, and probation feels that she could benefit from the substance abuse program due to her drug program. Problem.
All right. So I regret that I didn't know that you didn't surrender to safe P, because if I would have known that, something else would have been done. And that's my fault for not speaking to probation before then. If you fail to follow the court's orders and come back before me, if the state is able to prove up any allegations, you're looking at, if I don't continue, you're looking at up to 20 years in the prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include safety, and she's to remain in custody until transfer. And I'm going to extend her for 1 year. Is there anything else?
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, good luck to you.
Your Honor, may I be excused?
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Juan Carlos Rios.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Thank you for addressing appropriately for court. All right, so today is the day for the state to tender an offer.
Judge, I know that Mr. Holster spoke, I believe, to David Lunan at one point in the last week or two. I don't know if I exactly have that timing right.
A couple of days ago.
Okay, there
Okay.
you go, thank you.
Yes.
I don't think that we're gonna be able to resolve this with a plea offer, so.
No, I mean, has an offer been tendered? Because today was the day an offer was supposed to be tendered.
It was sort of a tentative offer, tentative, no hard offer has been tendered.
Okay,
I'm not
so,
even sure what charge we're gonna proceed to trial.
all right, so are you speaking with Mr. Lunan about an offer?
Nope, he referred me back to this court to get an answer
An answer for what?
on what the charges were going to be, how the case was going to be handled. And my understanding right now is that we could proceed under criminally negligent homicide, or it might be a lesser when we go to trial. And we would proceed under the intox manslaughter, but I don't have a hard offer. And like I said, I'm not 100% at this point what charge we would actually go to trial.
All right, so I'm assuming, I'm assuming you all will be proceeding on what's in the indictment, and then of course, if there are lessers requested in the charge, then I guess there will be lessers requested.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so,
Because there's some discussion that they might recharge. That's why.
okay. So then, today is the day, because this has been on since March.
Judge, I can make an offer, it's just, we have been in contact with defense, I think that any offer we make is likely gonna be rejected. So if it's,
No, I mean, so today is just the day. There's supposed to be an offer made, and I'm supposed to have a trial court, I'm sorry, an acknowledgement of discovery.
Again, I can make an offer, Judge.
Okay, all right, and then after the offer is made, I'll give you a plea deadline date. So once the offer is tendered, I need the acknowledgement of discovery. And sir, how old are you?
Done one.
It's not one in the
Judge
file.
asked this for it twice.
Sorry, I'll plan to get it.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's not in the file.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get another one done.
Okay. So Ms. Ferguson, how old are you, sir?
56.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, set this for a plea deadline date, the week of July 15th.
He feels younger than he is. He was.
Okay, that's okay. Well, he doesn't look his age, so that's a good thing. It doesn't matter how old you are. You know, if you don't look your age, that's great.
I look older than my age now.
Well, are we going to tell our ages now?
I can do July 16th, Judge.
All right, so we're going to come back on July 16th. And let me just tell you, the reason why I ask people's ages is because sometimes I have people before me and they're very young, and I know they need time to process what the consequences if they decide to enter a plea is going to be. And sometimes they want to speak to their parents or whomever guardian they have. So that's why I always ask. So I think you'll be able to make your decision. All right, so July 16th is going to be a plea deadline date. Once you sign the reset form, you excuse, and counsel, if you'll stay so that you can sign the acknowledgement of discovery. And then if nothing is reached by July 16th, your next date will be a jury trial date. All right, thank you. You're welcome. All right, the parties on Lucianne Miranda. Good morning. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right, court is calling night mag number 749936, State of Texas versus Lucianne Miranda. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Adler.
Phyllis Beal for the defense.
And are you Miss Miranda?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're here on a violation report. State, have you had a chance to review the violation report?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense, what's going on here?
So, Your Honor, I honestly, I don't exactly know what's going on, except that I can tell you that starting on the 12th of this month, she has started with AA meetings. She has actually had 3 sponsors here who are willing to speak on her behalf if that's necessary. Here are the things.
Any objections to the court viewing this, counsel?
No objection, Your Honor.
And also, oh, I'm sorry, there's only 2 sponsors here.
Okay,
I misstated that.
no problem.
And she has gone every day since the 12th of June. So even though I don't know exactly what's going on, I do know that she's clearly addressing the problem and is working very hard to deal with this, some of the issues that have been presented.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
In the proposed order, the first option
Mhm.
with the addition that when Ms. Lucienne reports that she provide documentation of attendance at a.
Okay. All right, so Miss Miranda, you're going to have to stay vigilant about your sobriety. I know that what you're charged with is driving while intoxicated. I don't take any of that as true because nothing has been presented to me. But you're on bond, so as a part of your bond, there are certain things you have to do. You're on ignition interlock, so therefore, when it's a positive hit, it doesn't start. But if this continues, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to either have to place you in custody or either you're not going to be allowed to drive. You understand? All right, this is what the court will do. The court will follow the suggestion from the state and defense. Are you in agreement with that?
We are.
All right, I'm going to continue with ignition interlock. There's going to be weekly reporting for 60 days and drug alcohol testing. Random, the fees will be waived. And I'm going to order 90 sober meetings in 90 days. And Miss Miranda, we can go off the record, Miss Miranda, this is where you learn, and you're supposed to be learning what you need to do to maintain your sobriety. So even though I'm ordering that you do sober meetings every day, if you feel as though you need to do 2 a day or 10 a week, then do those because you must maintain your sobriety. You have children, you understand? All right. If there's anything that you need from the court to help address any sobriety issues you have, come back to the court with your attorney before I get one of these reports. You understand? All right. Is there anything else you need? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge.